Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome back to more StarCraft 2. Now what I got for you today is a best of 3 series of top of the line Protoss versus Zerg. Spawning here in game number 1 on Lost and Found LE and playing with the red Zerg drones. Team Liquid recently put him as the rank 4 player on the planet, and I definitely have to agree with that. This man is an absolute monster. He goes by the nickname of Dark. And his opponent spawning in the top right hand corner of the map. He's playing with the blue Protoss probes, also from South Korea. We are currently looking in the main base of herO. Now herO, of course, also a top level Protoss player, while currently he kind of gets, I guess he kind of gets overshadowed right now by players like, for example, Stats and players like, for example, Classic. He's still definitely like the rank 11, 12, or 13 or so on the planet. This man is an absolute monster. These rankings, by the way, they are put out pretty much every single month, and they change the order of players quite drastically, depending on the most recent results. But there's no denying that both of these players in this match are absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited to figure out what kind of strategies they've got in store for us. Of course, with a best of 3, it all comes down to who wins 2 maps in total rather than just a single one. So usually we will see some variety in these kind of games as well. So far though, nothing out of the ordinary. We do see that hatchery first here on the low ground by Dark, followed up with an extractor and then also a spawning pool. On the other side of the map though, we did see that low ground pylon here from herO going into the gateway, then the nexus, or actually you got some gases in between as well, but regardless, going for the low ground expansion really quickly and creating a bit of a wall right here at the very front to make sure that Zerglings cannot just run in right when Zergling speed is done. And now already, look at that. Dark decides to, rather than just simply playing the matchup, he decides to play the opponent. herO is very well known for just playing that super solid, straightforward Protoss style, and even before Dark scouted anything, right now he's gonna be rather happy, he decided to go straight into that third hatchery already. Now for obvious reasons, it's very risky to go ahead and do so. If you don't have any units to defend against other units, it gets a little bit tricky. But it does look like herO will not be able to figure out what's going on for the time being. He will not know about this third hatchery until it's already done, because he decides to chrono boost out a Stalker and to go after that Overlord here right from the get-go. Now Dark desperately looking for that second pylon. The second pylon is all the way there in the back of the main base. Question is, will it be scouted? And the answer is no. I don't think Zerg actually saw anything there. So that's a big deal. Oh my god. Well, would you look at that? Apparently herO thought that his Stargate did get scouted and he immediately cancelled it. Even though we obviously know that that is not the case. herO did decide to try and outsmart his opponent even though it wasn't even scouted in the first place. He assumed that Overlord saw the Stargate, but it's not the case. So now he's trying to force the response of the Stargate out of his opponent, even though that isn't even happening anymore. That is kind of hilarious. It's kind of funny. Both players trying so hard to mind game each other, and that's what a lot of StarCraft 2 comes down to at this level of play. You really have to try and get these really small edges as early on as you possibly can, so you can really start banking up that economy. Regardless though, herO now decided to switch into Zealots with the leg upgrade, so look at that. Charge will be coming up here. Dark, by the way, will figure it out right now. I wonder what he's thinking upon seeing this, right? Because he must realize that this is a little bit later than you would normally expect it. I don't think he really cares that much. But there's no denying that he knows the standard timing at which these units and these buildings and whatnot are supposed to go down. Regardless though, I think we are going to be seeing that Warp Prism indeed, and that's 7 additional gateways here in total for herO. So, oh my god. Is he going to go up to 9 gateways? 9 gateways, a Warp Prism and Charge. Okay, so this is a full-on all-out assault. He pulled the probes out of the gas geyser even. So that means he's only getting mineral income. This is going to be a massive amount of Zealots. Question is Dark gonna be ready for this? Dark did decide to go for the Roach Warren. Roach Warren, of course, very good. He's already preparing a couple of spine crawlers. Nicely done. He might actually assume that this is gonna be some sort of like a depth play as well. Not quite the case, of course. I would actually rather see him make Banelings, I think. Banelings are like, Roaches are good, right? But Banelings really do get rid of Zealots very easily. At this time, though, it's a little bit late to even make that transition. I like the addition of the spine crawlers. That was a great scout, by the way, by Dark. Knowing fully well now what his opponent is going for, he's just making non-stop units. He may still be second-guessing himself whether or not it's going to be Adepts or Zealots or anything along those lines. But he is trying his very best to deal with it. The 2 Adepts there do actually... Oh my god, they do cancel their shit. But there's a massive warp in at the 5-minute mark inside of the main base of the Zerg player. herO, while very well known for playing that macro-focused style, decides to play hyper-aggressive here in this match. But Dark, backing up towards those mineral patches, he gets a great engagement there. Once again, right, a lot of these units will be elevated down towards the low ground, but now with these queens shooting away at that War Prism, that was a very, very straightforward hold. Dark absolutely shutting it down, and I really want to emphasize that because I've personally died to these kind of builds 100 times, okay? 9-gate Zealot, that is extremely, extremely aggressive. herO, though, decides to go back into gas. He decides to even get a second robotics facility, so I think he's gonna go for like a second wave here as well. Right? It really only makes sense for him to continue onwards with this aggression for a little while longer and maybe just go all in again. He's now got 2 prisms flying across the map, so that's one right here in the main base and then one over here near the third 2. This one will be spotted right now. These Zealots are going to be able to unload with relative ease. Roach is desperately scrambling back. That one Spinecrawler from earlier definitely helping out as well. The thing is, though, there's still no third Nexus up here for herO. I think he wants to go like double Immortal production and just go from there. Or at the very least, like double robotics facility production and just simply push across the map once again. I don't know if you can really follow this up with a base right now. Obviously, Zerg has cut out quite a lot of workers in order to actually produce this massive of an army. But look at that, right? 2 Zealots, a Sentry and whatnot coming up. Actually, economy-wise, you would imagine Zerg is ahead because there's 3 bases versus only 2. But so far, it's really not the case. The War Prisms will get target fire down, though. One of them actually does find death over here. Couple of roaches now also moving across the map. Queen's trying to get some pot shots off over there. But now with these roaches and their roach speed upgrade, Glio Reconstitution did just finish up. That means that they all of a sudden are going to be capable of making their way across the map very easily. Now this probe over here still did not produce a Nexus, so there's still no third base to even be seen anywhere. I wonder if it's even smart right now for Dark to make that move up to the high ground. This is very much so a Zerg all-in right now. Beautiful force fields there. They will cut off the majority of those roaches from even getting on top of all of this army. And now with the War Prism returning as well, right, I really think that Dark needs to stop this engagement. Like, the thing is, with good War Prism juggling, you can get so much value. And keep in mind, right, there's still 8 or 9 or so gateways here available. That Prism picking up the weakened units immediately. The Immortals, though, really are getting overwhelmed now. But still, that's 4 Immortals here in total, with 2 more on that production tab. Dark ahead when it comes to the supply count. He did just find that there is another Nexus here taken by herO. He's gonna try and see if he can get the cancel, and that does turn out to be the case. Even contamination there used on the Robo facility to try and slow down the Immortals for just a little bit, but still, this is a little bit awkward right now, right? So Dark decides to make a couple more drones as well as a Spire. If there's one thing that all of these units of Protoss have in common is that they cannot shoot up. Still though, now with the War Prism arriving on the other side of the map, this harassment is gonna continue onwards for a little while longer. I wonder if herO is planning to go for an all-in. I kind of would like him to just continue onwards with his all-in. Did he see the Spire? Because he's making Stalkers right now. No, he did not. But for some reason, with the star senses, I guess he's just simply doing the math, right? If he doesn't see Hydras, then he doesn't see, you know, a whole lot of tech here in general. I guess it has to be at the very least an option to go from Mutas at this point in the game. Beautiful pickup play there by herO. I love this. But here we go. That really scary Protoss ball is now moving across, and I don't know if Mutas are even going to be the name of the game. No, we do see a lot of Ravagers now warping in as well, I think, or morphing in, rather. I do think that that is going to be a really important thing to do. Look at that army, man. How many Immortals is that? 7 Immortals. This is just a delayed Immortal Sentry all-in, essentially. Remember those? They were very popular like a year or 2 ago. Immortal Sentry is absolutely phenomenal, and while Zerg is very good these days at shutting down the classic version of it, Dark's still ahead though as far as the supply count goes. But this is like a delayed version, right? And look at those force fields! Absolutely phenomenal. Dark getting his army picked up very easily still. Oh my god, that is so dirty. What a play here by herO. faking out that third Nexus here essentially as well. He did make a third base here. That one only really has a couple of probes mining at it. He never really made any more workers than what he's got right now. Well, apparently he is a little worried of going up towards that high ground, and rightfully so. Ravagers can still rain their biles really nicely. I do think, though, he had a chance at maybe obtaining the victory there. Right? Wouldn't that be possible? I guess there were still some more Immortals waiting as well, right? I don't know actually if there's any reinforcing Immortals, but 2 more are coming up right now. Well, at this point, Zerg must be feeling pretty bad. He knows that he's now playing 3 base versus 3 base. Dark now also knows he's still stuck on Roach Ravager Zergling only against an army that is much higher tech. So how is this gonna go? I've got a feeling that all that herO really needs to do is just push again. He's got a solid eco. There are now 5 Mutas coming out, by the way. Mutas can definitely fly to the other side of the map and maybe force some warp-ins over there. But I think as long as herO pushes right now, he can really prevent this from dealing any kind of critical damage whatsoever. Still, a lot of Stalkers coming up. There's no blink on these. I would actually like him to get blink at this point in the game just to close out this match for sure. Nice biling there, really covering a huge chunk of that terrain. But still, this is an army waiting to fight the Zerg. And I've got a feeling that there is way too much Protoss here to properly take that. Now, beautiful deflection so far though by Dark. Purposefully not using all of his biles at once and really buying himself a lot of time to just simply get back into this engagement. Softening up a lot of those sentries and zealots and stalkers and whatnot as well. But there we go, once again, beautiful force field, really weakening a lot of that Zerg army as well, preventing a lot of it from even engaging in the first place. And once again, the drones are evacuating. At the same time though, the Mutas made their way towards that third Nexus point. There's nothing here to defend for the Protoss player whatsoever. That means as long as Zerg manages to deflect this army, the Protoss probes will probably go down, and with that, the majority of the economy of Protoss as well. All of that Zerg needs to do right now is hold on, but I don't think there's enough. Look at that, right? The amount of Protoss here available, but those biles definitely helping out a ton. I've been favoring herO here for a little while already, but is there enough here for Zerg? Drones now pulled off the line as well. Once again, a massive warp in here of Stalkers. All of the probes here in the natural are scattered. There's barely any economy available right now for herO. Only 14 probes, but he does have that massive army. Those Immortals living up to their name, really showing us that with proper micro, they do not die. And I've got a feeling, man, even though this game looks like it went pretty decent here for Zerg, herO has had his number this entire time. Well, there's only 1 probe remaining. It's mining gas. The thing is, though, if Dark manages to hold on here, he's gonna be in a good spot. I'm not sure if he has enough. With good Warp Prism control, though, I think there's an option for it. Well, herO is still... Oh my god, he's actually losing units. He actually does lost 2 Immortals there for practically free. Oh my god, he's actually decided to go into Warp Prism mode right there as well. That means that this is a final stand of Zerg, and it may actually just be barely enough. No way, herO! He had this game in the bag. But Dark decides to evacuate all units towards the main base. And with the Mutas returning, he just barely scrambles the victory. What an exciting game number 1. I really thought that herO had that one. I personally, as Zerg, have died 100 times in that scenario just because that Protoss army is so much bigger. But Dark, just holding the ramp there, using the drones as meat shield, he gets the value that he was looking for. And all of a sudden there near the end, it looked like herO just stopped microing. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but regardless, that means that it's currently 1-0 here for our Zerg. Alrighty, so here we go. Game number 2 is on Catalyst LE, and it's currently 1-0 in favor of Dark. The thing what makes that previous game so very difficult for Zerg, by the way, is that it's very much so a balancing act. You have to figure out how many drones you can get away with and how much army you have to make. The thing is, after the first, like, I guess 2 base all-in attack wave, Dark could have just simply droned up to like 66 workers, so full 3 base saturation, right when he realized that Protoss took a 3rd Nexus, and that's what a lot of Zerg players will do. It's probably what I would have done after holding off the initial 9 gateways, right? You see your Protoss opponent take a 3rd base, and you're like, okay, we're gonna be playing a macro game from here. And while we did see that third Nexus go up there, obviously, for herO, he really only transferred a couple of probes from his main and his natural to it when the main and the natural started running low on resources, right? He never really planned on creating any additional probes. So the follow-up attack wave was practically a 2-base all-in off of 3 Nexus. It's a little strange. It's a little bit weird. Anyways, a really quick assimilator here for our Protoss player. Very curious to see what he's planning to do with that. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, we do see that hatch gas pool, I think, here for Dark. Wouldn't be surprised to see a spawning pool. There we go. Curious to see if herO maybe has got something cheeky in mind, because usually you do not go for the assimilator first, although he's pretty slow here with the saturation of it, and he is gonna go for the Nexus here on the low ground. Now, this is awkward. 2 workers here trying to high-five. I think both of them may actually be going for some sort of proxy. The thing is, did they look at that part of the map right at that point? Did either of them notice that something weird was going on? Because this should be spotted, right? That drone was spotted as well as, but you have to look at the minimap right at that instant. Oh my god, Dark is taking a Nexus right here. Well, or not a Nexus, sorry, a hatchery right here, whereas a pylon goes up on the left-hand side of the map. I feel like we may have very well got ourselves a bit of a similar scenario like we did in the previous one. Dark is gonna scout out that everything looks very normal over here, but I think this has to be like a proxy Stargate, right? Are you gonna go for a proxy Stargate, herO? I think it has to be. Yeah, he has to be. Come on. Oh my god, this is gonna be similar to like the Mutas in the previous game, except the other way around. I think the Dark is planning to go for some sort of all-in here. I mean, he pretty much has to, because this is not scouted right now. But when obviously you make the hatchery over here... Oh my god, it's not spotted though. Oh no, it is spotted right now. Oh my god, herO with the star senses. What the... How did he just do that? Did you just see that? He just made... That was beautiful. The star senses are tingling. Well, right now he knows what's up. He knows that something is not quite right. The Stargate actually, rather than rallying towards the mineral line over at the Zerg's end of the world, I think he's just simply gonna rally it back. I was gonna say, maybe he can kill all of the workers here as well. herO, by the way, doesn't want to show that he's seen that base. He wants to look at that. This is like him baiting it out as well. That's so cheeky. That's so cheeky. I feel like this is like more or less like a bait to show the Zerg opponent that he's brave enough to just simply walk on this part of the map, right? Normally you'd huddle behind the safety of the wall, but that's not the case right now. Well, the first Oracle will now be moving across. I wonder if it's better to just simply send it into the main instead, though. Roaches are now being produced, by the way, for Dark. Finally, herO will now show his opponent that he has spotted what is going on. A single pylon there going out in the seemingly middle of nowhere. Question is he going to immediately activate the ability right here on the Oracle? For now, it doesn't look like that's the case. He is just simply going to snipe the Overlord there, which is actually rather annoying because that's going to supply block Zerg. Shield batteries going up outside of the main. Oh my god, that's cute. I've never really seen that before. I guess what it allows you to do, though, is be much safer, but now the Queens are marching forward here as well. Dark, obviously, currently on match point, right? If he manages to win this one, he's going to be in a phenomenal spot. This, though, makes his ramp all of a sudden inaccessible, and that means that the Queens have to go all the way around. Beautiful move there. Well, here we go. Oracle's immediately going to snipe one of those Queens as well. Is he going to deactivate the ability? So far, it doesn't look like he's decided to do so just yet, but the one Spore Crawler giving a lot of safety here as well. An additional Queen now coming up here too. herO is gonna push out with shield batteries. This is great moves here by Protoss. Really love this. If you would sit behind the wall, it's so difficult to do anything. Right now, though, all of a sudden, right, I feel like this is a great position. He's not positioned the Stargate in a place where he can really reinforce this easily. Oracle's now moving across, though. There's only one Spore Crawler there. They can easily zap that one down. Here we go. They're going to be able to make their way into the main base. And are they going to snipe it? They are indeed going to snipe it. That means that that Spore Crawler will certainly end up dying at the same time on the other side of the map. While all of the drones are being killed, we see the Stalkers are taking a heavy beating. But with this many shieldy boys, all of a sudden, right, I think this army is going to be deflected. The Zerg force absolutely obliterated there. Now a bunch of the Oracles are making their way towards the natural, trying to get more and more kills, and they are successfully doing so. Shield batteries slowly running out of the amount of energy that they have, but herO, indeed, upon killing his opponent's economy, is the one who obtains the victory. What an awesome set of games so far. That's awesome. Okay, so we have one more match coming up, and that's going to be the conclusion of this best of 3 series. Series like this is what get me so excited for StarCraft 2. I mean, Look, I've watched pretty much every single esport out there, and I'm really happy that esports is doing so well in 2018 and that gaming in general and competitive gaming in particular is growing in 2018 so far. But, guys, maybe I'm biased, but I feel like StarCraft 2 is so much better than all other esports out there. At the very least right now. I mean, the games are just so exciting. Right? It's so difficult to execute this. You have to make the decision so quickly. herO pushing those shield batteries outside of his natural, that's not something we would have seen a couple of years ago. These players have been playing this game for so long that they know every single situation so well that they can make decisions on the fly like an absolute champ. I love it. It's honestly, does anyone disagree with me? Isn't StarCraft 2 easily the best esport? I'm a big fan. I've quite literally watched everything. I like CSGO. CSGO is really exciting to watch. I like watching some Dota from time to time as well. Man, StarCraft, it's much better. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm biased. I know. I've been playing this game for so long. It would be weird if I said that another esports was the superior one, but StarCraft really is. It really takes the crown for me, man. Anyways, a little bit of a different opener here from Dark. Forced to go into that very quick extractor right now. The probe denying that natural here from going up in the first place. We do not see that gateway once again on the low ground here for herO. But he's also being an absolute nuisance here to that Zerg opponent by putting up a pylon inside of the natural and forcing Dark to be looking to take a third base here instead. I'm ready for like a long macro game. By the way, the pylon there does get cancelled, so hatchery still goes up. But I'm ready for a long macro game. That will be awesome. That'd be the best way of closing out this series. We've had 2 nail-bitingly close games. Now I'm ready for like a 30-minute long epic macro game. I don't think it's going to be the case, because so far both of these players have been looking like they want to close out this game very, very quickly. But I guess only time will tell. Once again, though, very normal game so far, but herO, he is saving up a little bit of chrono boost there. Normally, we do see Protoss players spend that on some... well, he needs to spend it right now if he wants to be efficient. I don't think he's going to do so. No, normally we do see them spend it on probes a little bit earlier on. Stargate now coming up. There's no chrono boost here on the gateway here either. This time around, by the way, there's no Stalker, but rather a Adept. So Dark, indeed, is going to be able to figure out for now what's going on. He does decide to return here. Interestingly enough, I wonder if that's because of the Stalker being out every single game so far. Right? This kind of forces him to adjust on the fly. Right now, he sees that it's an Adept, and... like, if you look at this kind of stuff, right? It looks as if Dark is just staring at this Overlord, but he's not. He's microing these Zerglings, he's making a lot of units here as well. The super quick response times are so difficult to pull off. He's also adjusting on the fly in the sense that he just went for a second one of these Overlords. Just to figure out what's up. And there we go. He will figure out that it is going to be an Oracle first once again. Beautiful move here by our Zerg player, adjusting to this series, depending on what he saw in the previous games as well. Usually, sending 2 Overlords across, it's kind of out of the ordinary right now because of the popularity of Phoenix openers. But I think that this Overlord is just going to try and make its way back home. It's just going to go all the way back home. The second Overlord instead is going to be the sacrificed one. Phoenix will be coming up right now. It's following up that Stargate, but it should really still only get maybe 1 or maybe 2 or so of these Overlord kills. There we go. Oracle is moving across right now. We do see that third hatchery going up. 2 queens already waiting here. Single Spore Crawler going up in the natural, or in the main base rather, of our Zerg. There we go. It will be spotted here too, and I don't even know if herO is going to try and test the waters. He knows obviously at what level he's playing, and he knows that it's very unlikely he's going to be able to get a good amount of damage in. Well, there we go. Robotics facility also gets scouted, and now we also see Protoss following this up with a Twilight Council. So, very classic opener here from herO. Looks as if he wants to follow this up with Archon drops once again. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Templar Archives and then also an additional 2 gateways here going down in just a little bit. He could follow it up with a variety of builds though, and obviously now with that Phoenix out, it's very difficult for Zerg to scout what it is he's going up against. Queen already waiting here for that Oracle. Oracle is gonna just simply try and put down one of these stasis wards. So calm and collected, right? It's very easy to freak out in these kind of scenarios and accidentally have all of your units go into stasis, but nope. Not in the case of Dark, just simply pulls 1 drone from the bunch and he really loses very minimal mining time there. It's actually 4 additional gateways and a Templar Archives as well as charge. Okay, so this is similar to game number 1, except it's gonna be 6 gateways, and it does have the opportunity to go for a follow-up here as well. So, the third Nexus could be still going up, but I don't expect it for another little while. Second Warp Prism once again. I love this. herO actually innovating with the second Warp Prism quite a bit. I guess it used to be popular a while ago, but right now it kind of fell out of fashion. Going for charge slots, and then how many gateways does that make in total though? He has quite a few of them already. Now, I'm pretty sure that's 6, right? It's actually a lot more. He just added on a couple more. He is gonna go for that all-out assault once again. It's not quite 9 this time around, but he is, rather than just bringing Zealots, also bringing Archons to this party. There we go, a couple of High Templar morphing together to become the most beautiful units. And this is the dirty one, right? Dark is very good at the scouting. He's very likely to figure out that there is indeed a third Nexus up, and this might actually trigger drones out of him. I don't know if that's the case, but it might. It could be. There's a lot of room here right now for a lot of aggression as well. Keep in mind that second Prism. It's still on the other side of the map here too. For now, it's only Zerglings and Banelings. For some reason, though, I think Dark kind of knows what's going on. He either is planning to make this many units just to try and deny that third base here from Protoss. I don't know if that's happening right now, but at this point, he's definitely needing all of those units. Banelings are ready to go. A lot of Queens here as well. I like the Queen edition here a lot, too. But these Zealots, man, they are marching straight towards this army. The Banelings, oh my god, getting a massive connection there. Definitely a valuable trait. At the same time, though, one of the prisms made their way inside of that main base. Rather than warping it over there, though, herO decides to warp in here a little bit closer towards the Archons. More and more of the Banelings are being morphed in right now, too, but I don't know if that's actually gonna be what Zerg is looking, or what Zerg is looking for right now. They're a little bit late. One of the Warp Prisms, though, does end up dying. The Queens also up with their backs against the wall right now, or at the very least, that's where Protoss is trying to get them. Another Warp Prism now does get produced, but it looks like with this amount of Queens and a couple of Banelings, that was actually a really clean hold. A couple of Zealots now also warping in inside of that main base, but that was honestly one of the best holds I've ever seen. That was really well done there by Dark. I mean, the thing is, he was going up against someone who's playing freaking 8-gate Zealot Archon with just Zerglings, Banelings, and Queens. Very difficult thing to do. herO, by the way, following it up with a couple additional probes right now. But it does look like he's not done with his aggression just yet. Remember that droning, what I talked about in the previous game? Well, at this point, I'm starting to get still a little bit anxious here for Zerg. Rather than just pushing across the map with a small army and trying to hit as quickly as possible, herO is now bringing a lot of Archons. And Archons, if there's one unit that's great against Zerglings and Banelings, it's definitely the Archons, right? Queens are decent, but I'm really a little bit worried here still. That is a lot of Zerg still remaining here as well. Beautiful targeting once again here, though, by herO. Really picking up all of those weakened Archons as soon as they are available. At the same time, Zerglings coming up with the run by. They're trying to get into the natural as well as killing that third base here. Zerg, though, is forced to now deal with a lot of these Archons. I don't know if there's enough. All of these Archons, though, super low on HP. They are popping now one by one. Obviously, as soon as the shields are depleted, the Archons just simply disappear. Third Nexus, though, will end up going down here as well. herO warping in a lot more Zealots. I think he's trying to close out this game right here, right now. He is practically all in because the amount of Zerglings that are currently knocking on his front door force him to go all in this scenario. There's very little available here for our Protoss player as far as economy goes, but Dark's workers are plummeting. Zerglings now made their way into that natural location as well. Couple of Zealots going to town right here on the Spine Crawlers as well. Dark is losing the natural, but he's holding on to the main base, and he just killed another Warp Prism there. Oh, man. I think there's just enough though, right? Isn't there enough here for Protoss? There's like barely any army right now left over here for Dark. Yeah, he's just simply gonna roll away here with a lot of those Banelings as well. He might try and go for a surround once again, but that's more and more High Templar here coming up. Another one of the bases will go down. Banelings at the same time trying to make their way towards the natural. These Zealots will have to fight another day because they are the ones that are dying right at this point. Third hatchery now going down as well. I think that herO, while he is losing a lot of his economy, right, he just has the superior army. I don't see how this Zergling Baneling force is gonna kill like 6 Archons or 5 Archons. How is that ever gonna work? Instead, he's gonna go for a run-by right now, even warping in a couple of these High Templar on the other side of the map. herO's not gonna morph in one of those Archon over there too. This may actually be just a really close base race. I think that might be enough right now, but Dark, realizing that he is going up against a massive amount of Archons, and he decides to GG out of the game in an extremely well-fought series. That probably was like one of the best series I've seen recently. That was so sick, right? Disregard all of the silly 2-base and 3-base all-ins that are quote-unquote the standard. This was both players playing on the fly, playing absolutely top-notch, and, you know, Dark just barely not having enough. Beautiful moves there. I really enjoyed that. I hope you did as well. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I upload I would say probably about 3, 4, 5-ish videos of StarCraft 2 a week. So if you are interested in seeing more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get more notifications as soon as future videos go live as well. But for now though, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? A special shout out to the Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. But I hope to see you once again in the next one.